Hello everybody and welcome back to Boot Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at one of the most popular pairs of boots on the channel. At least definitely top three. They are the Pleaser Legend 8899. There's two different models of Legend. One is the 8899, the other one is 8890. There's a little bit of a difference between the two. The 8899, which we have here, features a half zip. It also has a 5-inch heel and a lace up in the rear. The 8890 is pull on only and has a 4-inch heel. So that's the main difference. The other big difference is the 8899 is only available in real leather. These are real leather. Everybody always says, "Oh, Pleaser boots, they're not real. They're fake. All they make is PVC." Not true. These are 100% real leather. They're pig leather. They're not natural cowhide, so they're not quite as soft as some of the other garment leather that's out there. But they are in fact real leather. Don't let that fool you. The 8890 is available in leather, but it's also available in polyurethane or PU, which is fake leather. Basically, if you're shopping for Pleaser boots in leather, just pay attention to the pricing. These should run about $120 a pair. The 8890s will run roughly the same price in real leather, and they'll be about $50 or even less in the fake leather. So if you see a real cheap price and the description says, "Oh, they're leather," if the price is less than $80, $90, forget it. It's fake leather. And whoever's selling them is just trying to scam you. But back to these, they're only available in black or red. Back I'd say 10 years ago, the 8899 was also available in white, and I think maybe brown. The 8890 had a bunch of colors available in real leather. There was black, white, red, blue, and brown. And unfortunately, they discontinued almost all of those. They're pretty much just focusing on the black and red now, which is a real shame because I really wanted a pair in white and I can't get them in my size. When I do find them, they're only available in like size 5 or 6. I wear an 11, so. But yeah, like I said, these are by far, from the fan standpoint, one of my most popular pairs of boots. They're also probably one of my most popular pairs of boots to wear myself. They're extremely comfortable, even though they have a 5-inch heel. The way that Pleaser designed this whole footbed and everything, they got all the proportions just right, the angle of the arch and whatnot. It makes them really comfortable to wear. I've worn these 8, 10, 12 hours around the house with no problems. The only thing that I dislike about these boots is on the inside here, they didn't continue the real leather. They put this plasticky polyurethane inside of it, and it goes quite a ways down. And I know why they did it. I can understand why they did it. But I mean, look, I'm still unfolding it, still unfolding it. It goes almost halfway down the boot. It's a good few inches, if you can see here. That's all inside. That's this PVC material, because there's actually it's really hard to see. They did a really good job hiding the seam, but there's a seam there between the real leather on the outside and this polyurethane on the inside, and it comes all the way down to that point. So let's try to fold it back up. You can actually kind of, I don't know if we can catch it on camera once I'm done unfolding it. Like I said, it went so deep in there. There's a seam right here. So you got that much. That's all that lined in that polyurethane. So if we're standing it up, it's that much of it. But what they did that, I know why they did that. If you look, here's the natural bend in the knee. Your kneecap is here, and that seam is down here. So that's actually protecting the inside of the boot from being worn out prematurely from your knees and whatnot, from just rubbing on it, and if, say, there was some other activities going on in them. But I can understand that, but at the same point, it doesn't feel good on my kneecaps. If I'm not wearing long stockings, or even if I am wearing long stockings, my knees, after a while, that they're not breathing because they're up against plastic, and the sweat has nowhere to go, it has nowhere to wick away, and it starts to get wet, and it starts to get a little uncomfortable. I guess I've worn these 12 hours, but at the same point, I'm always going, oh, dang, the fronts of my knees and the backs of my knees, because again, that material goes all the way down to the back here, so it does kind of rub on the back of your knees a little bit. It's just, that's about my only gripe. And I've read, I don't have these in red, but I've read online that the color red for these, the inside color is much brighter than the leather of the outside, which turned a lot of people off because they wanted to try to undo the laces back here and get rid of the laces and then just cuff them. But you can't cuff them because the color doesn't match exactly. Even here, it's a little shinier on the inside than it would be on the outside. So for that, like I said, I can understand their point, but at the same point, it kind of screwed up a really good pair of boots. One thing I do like with the styling of these is they added a really classic shape in the front. It's one thing I pay attention to is how the stitching is done through the front here. Every boot manufacturer does it a little differently. Like my 9 West boots just have a single seam runs right down the center. These have this style. The other pleaser boots that I have all have this style, other than the medics and the daggers, because those have the lace ups. And we discussed the medics before with the seam that comes across the front. So overall fit, they fit true to size. Again, these are a size 11. They fit me perfectly. They weren't tight or snug right out of the box, so I didn't have to wait for the leather to stretch out or anything. There was one other gripe that I do have with these, and I know I fixed it. It's more prominent in this boot now, but the inside pad, there's a padded insole in here, and it's got a little bit of padding. It's not much. I mean, maybe a 1/4 inch thick at best, maybe 1/8 inch thick. But the pad, that whole inside padding, came away on both boots. It just kind of lifted up. I don't know what kind of glue they used, but it didn't hold. I actually have a condition where my feet sweat an abnormal amount. So they get really, really damp and moist inside there. And I don't know, maybe the sweat loosened up the glue, but it's only happened on this pair of boots. I have other pleaser boots in PVC and leather in the closet, which we're going to get to later in a future video, but those all didn't do it. It was just this one pair, and I mean, I have 6 pairs of boots from Pleaser, and this is the only pair that's done that. So that kind of stunk, because with a 5-inch heel, my foot really wants to try to slide forward a bit. So in the front area here, there is a section where it kind of scrunched up because it had all slid down and it came out. So what I did was I took a bunch of shoe goo and glued those pieces back in, but it's still got a little bit of a bump there. It's molded around my foot now, so it really kind of, it's not the most comfortable, but it's not uncomfortable. It doesn't hurt my feet. It just, I have this little ridge right behind the joints of my toes where my foot, your foot starts, and then you get that little part where your toes can curl. That little part's got a little bunch of fabric that pushes up. And like I said, it's not uncomfortable because it's not pushing up real hard, but it's there and you can feel it, and you kind of I keep wiggling my toes, like trying to push it down. Like, oh, that's not supposed to be there, because it's not there in any other pair of shoes that I own. So that's my 2 gripes, is the foot sole on this particular pair came out, which I don't know why, and they put that stupid polyurethane in the middle there. But other than that, definitely one of my favorite pairs of boots. I'm still working on trying to condition the leather on these. I've had them 2 years now, and they're slowly getting softer. I can feel it. When I first got them, they were fairly stiff. Again, it's pig leather, so it's not as soft as cow leather. But they're slowly breaking in, and I keep treating them with different things. I've been treating them with mink oil every couple months. I really need to try buying some neat's foot oil and coating them in those. I just haven't had the extra funds to just blow on neat's foot oil on an experiment. It's like, oh, I don't know if it's going to work or not, so I don't really want to spend the money. And oh well, hey, that still didn't work, and now I got this whole thing of neat's foot oil that I don't have anything to do with. So in the future, we may end up doing that. I had a video where I bought a cheap shine thing. Actually, my wife had bought it for me, just to try it out. She caught her eye while she was at the store. We didn't go looking for it. She just happened to stumble across it and said, "Hey, I'll try this out." So I've tried putting it on a couple different pairs of boots now, just to see how it does, what it does. I did these a couple months ago. Did a video on it. That's on the channel, and the shine really didn't stay at all. Not like it did. I also shined up my 9 West boots, which are not real leather, and they held the shine. Like that whatever material, the man-made material that it's made out of, actually held the shine. These being real leather, the shine went away pretty quick. I mean, I only shined them up maybe a month ago, and it's already back to the way they looked. I mean, they still look a little darker and deeper than when I first bought them, but that's because I've treated them with mink oil maybe 3 times now. So they're finally starting to get softer and whatnot. I think the leather is just they were cheap leathers that Pleaser buys, and they weren't really moisturized properly in the factory. They come out real dry, so I just keep treating them every once in a while. Every couple months I'll put them on, treat them while I've got them on, so the leather's nice and warm, and then put them away. But that is the Legend 8899 by Pleaser. Thanks for watching, and hope you have a good day.